2026 is shaping up to be the single biggest year in gaming history. We're talking the return of the industry's biggest AAA titans, a major console generation shift, and the sequels we've been begging for. If your wallet is still hurting from the holidays, well, I've got bad news. Let's break down the top 10 games that are going to absolutely dominate your life in 2026. So get comfy and let's get into it. Directive 8020. A spacebound survival thriller where trust is the scarce resource. The danger isn't only what's outside the ship, it's the uncertainty inside the crew. The tone leans into paranoia. Who is infected, who is lying, and how much time you have left to make the right call. Expect slower pacing, branching choices, and the kind of scenes where a conversation is more stressful than a firefight. This belongs on your list if you want to mix pure zombie action with a more psychological, narrative-driven horror experience. GTA 6. Hold on to your controllers, because hidden data relating to GTA 6 has been found in the Microsoft Store, hinting that Rockstar is gearing up for a pre-order announcement. Enthusiasts spotted 2 product listings, suggesting plans for both a standard and an expanded edition of the game. A pre-order parameter in the code is currently set to false, which is what happened 10 to 15 days before the official pre-order start for both GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. So get ready for a new trailer, hopefully with some gameplay, and the official pre-order announcement. However, there's a big bummer. Rockstar has announced another delay for GTA 6. The long-awaited project is now scheduled for release on November 19th, 2026, which is several months later than originally planned. Honestly, at this rate, we might not see it until 2027. Retrieval. Science fiction survival horror with a zombie-like threat and a focus on atmosphere. The setup is a remote facility, a small team, and an awakening problem nobody fully understands. The art direction is clean, cold, and industrial, setting up long, quiet stretches where the environment does half the storytelling. You'll find logs, broken machinery, and spaces that look recently abandoned for reasons you'd rather not confirm. Retrieval shines when you let it breathe. Slow exploration, close listening, and then a sharp, violent spike when something finally finds you. State of Decay 3. State of Decay has always been about people first, zombies second. The third entry pushes that philosophy further with richer base building, heavier animation and combat feedback, and stronger narrative framing for your community's day-to-day struggles. Permadeath returns, so every scavenging trip matters. You'll choose who to rescue, who to risk, and which resources justify night runs into hostile territory. The magic is in the emergent stories, the improvised heroics, the hard losses, and the sense that your outpost is one bad decision away from collapse. If you want long-form, episode-worthy gameplay for your channel, this is a reliable generator of drama, The Witcher universe. First up, a huge drop from CD Projekt Red. The studio has confirmed they're working on yet another game set in The Witcher universe. This isn't The Witcher 4, and it's not the already in development remake of the first game. We're talking about a completely new adventure. This was spilled thanks to job postings for a lead writer, tasked with creating compelling stories, dialogues, and quests for an all-new journey. The specific nature of this project is still a mystery, but CDPR could choose any era, region, or even a new monster hunter. Gothic Remake. The developers behind the Gothic 1 remake are committed to making the game as variable as possible, ensuring players have total freedom of choice. According to the lead game designer at Alchem Interactive, the remake is getting a complete overhaul of its combat and magic systems, allowing everyone to play in their favorite style. This approach extends to everything. You can go anywhere, talk to anyone, and make choices that genuinely impact the game world. They are also hyper-focused on dialogue variability, letting you negotiate, lie, or find alternative solutions to conflicts. The Gothic 1 remake is expected to drop in early 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X/S. ILL, a cinematic body horror shooter with a claustrophobic tone. It's not an open world, it's a guided nightmare. You'll navigate tight interiors, experience grotesque enemy transformations, and use firearms that feel dangerous and physical. Expect limb damage, heavy recoil, and a constant sense that the situation is getting worse even when you're winning. It's made for headset horror. Footsteps behind you in a dark corridor, a sudden crash in the next room, and the kind of set pieces that make audiences lean closer to the screen. If you want a first-person horror showcase, this has the intensity you need. Blight Survival. A rare setting for the genre, a medieval co-op zombie horror built on Unreal Engine 5. You don't have assault rifles here. You have mail armor, crossbows, blades, torches, and mud up to your knees. Combat is weighty and positional, Narrow corridors and monasteries and crypts turn every encounter into a risk. In a squad, you'll stack roles: light, ranged, shield, utility, and learn to manage visibility, noise, and stamina to survive. It looks striking, it feels threatening, and the environmental storytelling sells the plague-ridden world. If you're tired of modern-day survival kits, this is a fresh, grounded alternative. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, a cooperative shooter that aims to be loud, stylish, and fun. It's built around vehicular mayhem, over-the-top tools, and an 80s action horror vibe that doesn't take itself too seriously. The point is simple: gather your squad, tune the loadouts, and plow through massive hordes with vehicles, explosives, and classic crowd control weapons. This is the game you play when you want energy and momentum. Quick sessions, clear objectives, and set pieces built for laughs and cheers. Defect. MT Vessel Studio has unveiled the first gameplay footage for their cyberpunk shooter, Defect. The game will feature zero traditional interface. Instead, your UI will be displayed on a tablet, various gadgets, and your weapon. Nearly every wall is destructible, and the weapons and ammo types interact differently with both enemies and the environment. The events take place in the last remaining human settlement on Earth, now run by an AI simply called System, as gangs and corrupt cops battle for power. In one showcased episode, a police squad storms a gloomy residential complex, clashes with a gang, and it turns into an absolute massacre. The legendary Mick Gordon is creating the soundtrack, and the development team includes veterans from the Doom, Call of Duty, and The Last of Us series. Release is scheduled for 2026 on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series. Half-Life 3. Work on the mysterious Project HLX, which is widely speculated to be Half-Life 3, is still going strong. Insiders suggest that Valve is already in the final polishing stage of development. Reliable leaker Tyler McVicker noted that developers are optimizing the Source 2 engine, improving simulations for water, liquids, sound, particles, and lighting, and adding new systems likely built for HLX. Rumors, also cited by Tyler, indicate that Valve is currently preparing a trailer, which is now in the production phase. Considering how Valve suddenly announced Half-Life Alyx, the release could happen shortly after the trailer drops. Fallout. Todd Howard is at it again. Bethesda has announced the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition, a remastered version of the action RPG to celebrate its 10th anniversary. The release is set for November 10th on all current platforms, assuming no delays, with a Switch 2 release coming in 2026. This Ultimate Edition includes the base game, all 6 add-ons, and over 150 Creation Club mods, including new dog skins, weapons, quests, and cosmetics. Bethesda is calling it the complete and final edition of Fallout 4, letting you relive the journey from Vault into the post-nuclear world. Meanwhile, Fallout 76 is getting the massive Burning Spring update, launching on December 2nd for PC and both console generations. It will hit other platforms early next year. The update features a new desert location in post-nuclear Ohio, where the super mutant Rusty King rules the Raiders. You'll be able to meet the ghoul from the Fallout series at a local bar and take on bounty hunting missions for unique rewards, plus 2 new events. A patch accompanying the update will significantly improve the graphics for the current console generation. Killing Floor 3. High-intensity wave survival with modern production values. This series has always excelled at spectacle. Thick sound design, hard-hitting weapons, and enemy waves that escalate from manageable to terrifying in minutes. The third installment doubles down on class synergy, weapon customization, and boss fights built to stress your group's coordination. The loop is simple: hold ground, spend smart, adapt, but mastery is difficult. It's ideal if you want fast-cut highlight reels, last-second revives, desperate retreats, and the thrill of taking down a boss on your final magazine. No more room in hell 2. This is cooperative survival horror with teeth. 1 life per run. When you die, you're out. The objective is not to flex with perfect aim. It's to think, communicate, and survive as a team. Massive maps force you to split up, scavenge under pressure, and regroup for extraction with limited ammunition and dwindling supplies. What makes it special is the pacing. Slow, dreadful, and systemic. You are not a superhero. You are a person with a flashlight, a half-empty magazine, and a plan that may fall apart any second. If you want a game that punishes sloppy calls and rewards discipline, put this at the top of your list. From the biggest buzz in the gaming world right now to the latest on long-awaited sequels, remakes, and some seriously dark new games. Assassin's Creed Hexe. Assassin's Creed Hexe is being set up as the darkest entry in the series. Creative director Darby McDevitt, who is in charge of the script, has been working on the game since October 2021. While Hex won't be a huge, sprawling open-world RPG like Odyssey or Valhalla, its development cycle is already the longest in the franchise's history. The game is set during the witch hunts in the Holy Roman Empire. Expect a true gothic horror experience. Think Hellblade with that familiar Assassin's Creed gameplay loop. Ubisoft Montreal is developing the title, and current hints point to a possible release in 2026 on PC and all current platforms. Arc Raiders. The fresh online shooter Arc Raiders from Embark Studios has absolutely exploded up the charts, holding top positions on all major platforms. This mix of co-op action and survival elements has been a breath of fresh air for many. Instead of the usual shootouts, the focus is squarely on player cooperation and exploring the post-apocalyptic world. It didn't just meet expectations, it has become the highest-rated multiplayer shooter in nearly a decade, scoring an impressive Metascore and a user rating of almost 9 out of 10 on Metacritic. This puts it in the same league as titans like Portal 2, Bloodborne, Mass Effect 2, and Half-Life. Embark Studios is planning to support Arc Raiders for a minimum of 10 years, promising consistent content updates and expansions. ILL. Team Cloud and Fishman have finally shown off ILL, a creepy first-person thriller totally channeling Resident Evil 7 vibes. After sticking to short teasers, they finally dropped a full-length trailer. The updated Steam page gives us the first plot details. Players find themselves in a massive research fort that has been taken over by a mysterious source of evil. The Team Cloud staff previously worked with the creators of projects like Soul Collector, Welcome to Derry, and Until Dawn, experience that they say will help them craft a game that digs into your consciousness and uncovers true fear layer by layer. Game features include realistic enemy dismemberment, a diverse modifiable arsenal, and a binaural audio system. ILL doesn't have a final release date yet, but it's listed on Steam for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X or S. GTA 6. Hold on to your controllers, because hidden data relating to GTA 6 has been found in the Microsoft Store, hinting that Rockstar is gearing up for a pre-order announcement. Enthusiasts spotted 2 product listings, suggesting plans for both a standard and an expanded edition of the game. A pre-order parameter in the code is currently set to false, which is what happened 10 to 15 days before the official pre-order start for both GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2. So get ready for a new trailer, hopefully with some gameplay, and the official pre-order announcement. However, there's a big bummer. Rockstar has announced another delay for GTA 6. The long-awaited project is now scheduled for release on November 19, 2026, which is several months later than originally planned. Honestly, at this rate, we might not see it until 2027. What these games cover. Across these 10 titles, you get a complete picture of modern zombie design. You have grounded, punishing teamwork in No More Room in Hell 2, long-form community storytelling in State of Decay 3, explosive wave-based action in Killing Floor 3, a rare, physical medieval spin in Blight, survival, human-centric scroller survival in Our Darkest Days, tight, grotesque body horror in ILL, sci-fi dread with retrieval, joyful co-op chaos in Toxic Commando, deep simulation in Project Zomboid's Next Era, and paranoia-driven thriller beats in Directive 8020. Together, they cover the full arc from hardcore systems to cinematic fear. How to choose. If you want unforgiving co-op where planning and comms decide everything, start with No More Room in Hell 2. If you enjoy multi-episode storytelling with permanent consequences, State of Decay 3 belongs in your queue. If your group thrives on high-skill action and boss rushes, Killing Floor 3 is the call. If a new setting matters most, Blight Survival is your fresh look. If you need a survival narrative that respects quiet beats and human cost, Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days is the right tone. If you aim to record short, intense horror sessions, ILL is the perfect showcase. If you prefer sci-fi tension and environmental narrative, plan a run of Retrieval. If the goal is pure, cooperative fun with vehicles and big set pieces, choose Toxic Commando. If you want the deepest survival sandbox for long campaigns, Project Zomboid is your platform. If you like branching narrative with a creeping sense of doubt, keep Directive 8020 on your radar. From harsh survival to cinematic horror, these 10 titles define where the genre is headed. Thanks for watching. Take care out there. And save your last magazine.